Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. The VA is retroactively increasing benefits for 1 million veterans. This is a huge turn of events that has taken place very recently, and the VA is implementing it now. Before we jump into it, I want to throw on a very special thank you to Robert Bentoncourt, 1386. Robert Bentoncourt, thank you so very much for that super comment, super chat thing. I really do appreciate your support so very much. And congratulations to you on your VA disability journey. Looks like things are looking good for you. All right, awesome. Thanks again for that. So jumping into this, retroactive increasing of benefits is a big deal coming from the VA. Please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I truly appreciate it. Every thumbs up, every minute watched helps to spread the word and the awareness, which is really what it's all about. So whether this directly impacts you or not, it does affect one of our brothers and sisters, and it's important that we get the word out and so people understand what's going on. So this came out, I've done videos on this in the past. This one just recently came out on military.com, and I just wanted to share their version of this story and see what we can find out as well. So with that, let's jump into it. The headline is, the VA is retroactively increasing GI Bill benefits for 1 million veterans. Here's how to claim them. All right, so jumping into it here, it goes on to say that veterans who earned both Montgomery GI Bill and post 9/11 GI Bill benefits while completing 2 separate periods of military service may now receive an additional 12 months of educational assistance. So let's dive into this a little further. The Department of Veterans Affairs kicked off 2025 by extending the GI Bill education benefits for 1 million veterans. Now, this is the result of a case that was actually heard by the Supreme Court. So it's a very big deal. And if you are impacted, you definitely want to understand how this works. So moving on here, the expansion follows the 2024 U.S. Supreme Court decision ruling that the VA had previously administered an aspect of the post 9/11 GI Bill in violation of pre-existing law. The VA's website implies that it has already contacted beneficiaries who might benefit from the 12 additional months. If you haven't received an email, or if it got lost or what have you about it, but think that your service might qualify, here's what you need to know. Why are so many veterans getting additional GI Bill benefits? Well, when the post 9/11 GI Bill became law in 2008, many service members had already paid their $1,200 contribution to the existing but less generous Montgomery GI Bill. You remember signing up for it and the $100 came out every single month? Yeah, that's the Montgomery GI Bill. So that $1,200 contribution to the Montgomery GI Bill, right? Then both laws provide 36 total months of educational benefits. A separate pre-existing law already said that when a service member earned entitlements under 2 different GI Bills, they could then receive 48 months of educational benefits, but no more. The problem here was that the VA was saying, well, you had to choose one or the other. Well, then you're stuck at the 36. So what about those extra 12 months taking you to the 48? Thank goodness somebody pushed it all the way through to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled in our decision. Veterans win. All right, moving on. However, in the case of veterans who first earned Montgomery GI Bill benefits, then later qualified for the post 9/11 GI Bill, the VA thought it locked in the 36-month limit when it required these troops to make an election to swap to the newer benefit, according to the 2024 Supreme Court ruling. As justification, the VA cited a part of the post 9/11 GI Bill intended to coordinate the benefits of troops who earned entitlements to both. The Supreme Court ultimately agreed with the plaintiff, Army veteran James Rudisill. However, that because he served separate periods of service, he technically earned separate entitlements to benefits. And because he earned separate entitlements, the requirement to make an election, which the VA said limited him to 36 months, never should have applied to him because he earned 2 different educational benefits. Montgomery GI Bill, 12 months of that $100 payment, $1,200 payments. You completed your time in service there, you may be re-enlisted and then qualified for post 9/11. Because Rudsill is already entitled to 2 separate benefits, he has no need to coordinate any entitlement according to the court. Who is now eligible for up to the 12 months more of the GI Bill benefit? Well, veterans who earned both the Montgomery GI Bill and the post 9/11 GI Bill benefits while completing 2 separate periods of service may be eligible to receive those 12 additional months of educational assistance. The VA created a decision tree to help veterans figure out whether they satisfy the criteria. There's 3 bullet points here. It said, did you pay into the Montgomery GI Bill, Active Duty Chapter 30? Have you previously applied for the post 9/11 GI Bill, Chapter 33? Do you have separate periods of service? Veterans who answer yes to all 3 likely qualify for the additional 12 months. I'd love to get your comments on this. If you fall into that category, what are you going to do with those additional 12 months is my question to you. Moving on, how does the VA define separate periods of service? A veteran's 2 periods of service can be continuous, such as via a re-enlistment, and still count as separate periods of service, earning the veteran 2 separate entitlements, according to the VA. Serving first in one service branch, then later in another branch, also counts as separate periods, as does being recalled to active duty from the individual ready reserve, the IRR. However, a single period of service extended involuntarily doesn't count, such as through a stop-loss order or another extension. How do you find out if you officially qualify for 12 more months of GI Bill benefits? Well, let's read that. The VA says it will automatically renew the prior claims of some veterans who likely qualify depending on when the veteran last received a decision on an education claim. Eligible veterans who last received a claim decision for VA education benefits before August 15th, 2018 must file a new claim by submitting VA Form 22-1995. And look, at the end of the day, work with an accredited rep or call the VA directly. This is just to bring it to your awareness. The next bullet here is the VA will automatically re-adjudicate the claims of eligible veterans who last received a decision on or after August 15th, 2018. The VA said it will notify these recipients by email. So if your email is not updated with the VA, you're probably not going to get that email. So you should probably contact the VA at 800-698-2411. Now, here's a question. Do the additional benefits expire? Great question that you need to know the answer to. Whether or not veterans have a deadline by which they must use their additional benefits depends on the date of their last day of military service, which is true for all post 9/11 GI Bill users. Veterans whose last period of service ended before January 1st, 2013 have only up until their delimiting date 15 years later to use their benefits. The VA will extend their delimiting date based on the day they submit their new benefits application. The deadline to apply and receive a new date is August 1st, 2030. So you do have some time. Again, contact the VA and get walked through it or work with an accredited rep. After that, the old delimiting date will apply. Next bullet here, the benefits of veterans whose last period of service ended on or after January 1st, 2013 do not expire. So those veterans don't have a delimiting date. So very important to also understand. So let's wrap this up here. Are your additional benefits transferable is a big question for a lot of folks. Veterans' ability to transfer benefits are determined by the Defense Department while they are still on active duty remains the same as before. Their previous elections still apply. Those who received approval to transfer their benefits in the past will still need to actually transfer these new benefits by following VA's instructions to do so. So talk to the VA. The instructions also work for veterans who want to return to their previous transferred benefits to themselves. Keeping up with your education benefits is really important. So talk with your accredited rep, reach out to the VA, and make sure that you're getting all of the benefits that you've earned. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you so very much. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.